Rowie, what do you love about fighting? What is it about fight sports that you find so exciting? And it's quite unusual for a woman, I get that, but the thing that I love the most about watching two people go onto a fight mat, into a ring, to fight each other, is it's the most honest sport in the world. Obviously the toughest. There's no bats, there's no balls, there's no protection, there's just two people fighting each other. But it's really honest, and the thing I love about honest is that it seems the world has become very dishonest. We get lied to every day by the media, by social media, by the government. We just get lied to. And in the defense of the people that lie, maybe they don't realize they're lying, I don't know, that's not what I'm here for. What I do find really interesting though is how we often lie to ourselves. And one of the things I learned to do a very long time ago is just simply, Rowie, tell yourself the truth. And it came from a psychologist that was a member at one of my health clubs. And they put it very bluntly, but very truthfully. Rowie, if you're fat, you ate it. If you're broke, you spent it. If you're in a shit job, you interviewed yourself in there. If your life isn't the way you want it to be, it's because you've chosen it to be that way. And you can argue that and you can justify it and you can get cranky about it, but ultimately, everything we've ever done, we were there. Every meal we've ever eaten, every exercise session we ever did or didn't do, every person we've ever put into our life, including our family, because a lot of people share with me, oh, I can't choose my family. But we can certainly choose how long we spend with them, how much time we waste with them or invest with them. We don't have to go as often, we don't have to stay as long, or we don't have to go at all. Because the same psychologist shared this with me. Rowie, if your family were not your family, would you still invest time with them? Would you still want to be with them? And it's a really important question because there's a lot of things around family that are, I have to, it's my duty, it's my responsibility to love my family. Well, there's a great word there that I always like to use, which is respect. You might feel that you have to love your family, but do you respect them? And would you put people into your life that you don't respect? So all of those questions are all about honesty. What are you doing in your life, Rowie, to make sure that you have a great life? And stop being delusional. Stop trying to kid yourself. Stop making excuses. Stop justifying. Have a close look at your life and change the things that you can. Accept the things that you can't change. Obviously, you need the knowledge to know the difference. But the things that you can't change, here's the real honest thing about that. I get to choose, you get to choose how we respond or react to those things. I always use the weather as an example. I can't change the weather. I'd be ridiculous if I whinge, moan and complain about the weather because I have no control over it. But I have full control how I respond to it, which is, wow, it's a beautiful day today. There's free water coming out of the sky. Wow, it's a beautiful day today. It's so windy you can hardly stand up. Wow, it's snowing today. And I share those with you because I live in a very honest place. The South Island of New Zealand, rural New Zealand, is very honest. It's hot, it's cold, it's windy, it's misty, it's foggy, it's harsh. If you're a farmer in the South Island of New Zealand, it's honest. You can't pretend. It's a bit like boxing. You can't pretend that you're good at boxing. You can't pretend that you're good at farming. You either are or you aren't. And there's too many jobs in the world now where people seem to go to work, or they go there, they don't do very much work. They get paid to do something, and then they wonder why they feel so crappy all the time, because they're not doing very much. And again, that's just being dishonest. I'm getting paid to do something, but I'm not really doing it. I'm not very productive. And the reason I'm sharing this so passionately is I have too many people in my life who are delusional, and you probably do too. I don't know why I'm fat. That's when I hear on a regular basis. I don't know why I'm fat. I've tried everything and it doesn't work. Well, that's a very dishonest statement, isn't it? If you look into your life, are you the fittest and strongest and healthiest you can possibly be? And if you are fit and strong and healthy and you're still overweight, is it possible that you're just eating too much food? Getting your body healthy, fit and strong is one of the most honest things you can do. Again, it's a bit like boxing. You can't hide. You either get puffed and get fit, you lift heavy, overload your muscles and get strong, or you don't. There's no half-assed effort there. It's one of the reasons why I love puffing, 100% effort phosphate system, lifting heavy, 100% effort phosphate lifting, because you can't hide. You either go at 100% effort or you don't. There's no put in half an effort. And could that be a really great personal question to ask yourself without being delusional, without making excuses, without trying to come up with some kind of justification. My life is crappy because, how about I don't want my life to be crappy anymore, so here's what I'm going to do. Could that be a really honest thing to do? When it comes to your human frame, this again was shared with me by a psychologist. Stand naked in front of the mirror in broad daylight, or stand naked in front of the mirror with all the lights on, look at your body from every angle and tell yourself the truth. The mirror tells the truth. You don't need to get a body fat test or a body scan or get your measurements done or weigh yourself. The mirror will tell you the truth. And if you look in your mirror and you don't like what you see, you could say, oh, it's not my fault, I've got heavy bones. Good to have heavy bones because that means you won't get osteoporosis. I want to have heavy bones. I love weighing heavy on the scales because I've got heavy bones. But we can come up with lots of reasons and excuses why we're overweight. But if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Not blame the past and justify why you got to that position. And there's another great question about being unhealthy, being out of shape, being unfit, being weak. If you were ever healthy, fit and strong, and now you're not, what did you do to not? And why not just reverse it? So if you used to love what you see in the mirror and you used to love the way you look and feel, then what were you doing then? And go back to doing that rather than, oh, I've got all these excuses for why. And I know I'm sounding very harsh, but life is really short, isn't it? Even if you live to 120 or 130, and the longevity experts are suggesting we might live longer, but in the scheme of things, that's not very long. And wouldn't it be great, and here's a great question that somebody just asked me recently, imagine living your whole life and not knowing what it's like to be in peak physical condition. Imagine living your whole life not knowing how strong you really are, how fit you can be, how good you can look. And that's not about having an ego or being egotistical. That's just, what am I capable of? It's one of those horrible words. I don't like the word average because that's somewhere between the worst and the best. And I really hate the word potential, because potential by definition means unused. And here's a great question. What is your potential, and will you use it to create a result? So we all have the potential to be fit, to be strong, to be healthy, to have a great life, to have a career or business that we love, to be financially free, to have great relationships. We've all got the potential to do that. That's why I'm here every day. People say to me, Rowie, why do you do a Romax every single day? For that exact reason. I have the potential to live my life in exactly the way that I want to live it, but I don't want to just have potential, I want to live it. And I not only want to live it because I already am, I want to make sure that if anybody else wants to live it, they can. And that's always my begging position, because as an adult, you can do whatever you bloody well want. Isn't that awesome? But I want our kids to know, I want our future adults, future leaders to know that they can be healthy, fit and strong, they can have a career or business that they love, they can be financially free, and they can have great people in their life. That's not delusional, and that's the funny thing, isn't it? A lot of people share with me, Rowie, you're so delusional, you can't be happy all the time. Well, why not? And if you're not happy and you're making excuses for it, to me that is delusional. Because if you can choose to be healthy, fit and strong, and I'm going to ask the question again, share the concept again. Every meal you've ever eaten, who was there? Every exercise session you have done or haven't done, who was there? Every person you've ever interacted with, who was there? I have to look in my mirror and say, Rowie, you were always there. Take responsibility for your life. And I hear it ringing in my ears, and I got that information when I was 18 years of age from the head doctor, I call them. Rowie, if you're fat, you ate it. If you're broke, you spent it. If you're in a career or business that you don't love, you interviewed yourself into it, or you got yourself into it. If you've got crappy people in your life, you can get them out of your life. That is a choice. And I don't want to be delusional about that. I just want to tell myself the truth. Because when I look in my mirror, as well as being stark naked and wanting to love what I see and not trying to make an excuse if I don't love what I see, I want to look in my mirror at the end of my day, at the end of my week, the end of my month, at the end of my life, and say, I lived my life to the max. I didn't make excuses. I didn't tell lies to myself. I wasn't delusional. I accepted the truth, and I made my life better every day. And that's my favorite philosophy. I love who I am now, but I'm excited about who I am becoming. Not blame my past and be angry about things that have happened in the past. I can't change the past, neither can you. But we can certainly make the future different. There's things that we can't change, but we can accept that we can't change them and then make the best of them. But the things that we can change, let's bloody change them and stop telling lies. Tell the truth, It's much easier, tell the truth. It's so much easier. Woohoo!